Well, friends, what season of Endosteel round 3, right? Welcome to Battletech, the Endosteel, season 3, another story, 2, because we already did one this season. I am joined once again by Paul Kahn.
Oh. I have a hat.
Paul,
Not keeping the hat.
we we come back to it's you. You are on a divan, just laying down. It looks intensely uncomfortable. You're wearing a totally white jumpsuit. It has a number on it, 567616. At the right, right over your heart.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a voice saying, "Today, I'd like to talk to you about your family. Over the past 2 years, you have refused to speak about them. It's a special day today, so I thought we'd investigate the relationship you have with your children."
Well, good morning to you too, computer.
Good morning. 567616.
And what is the special occasion?
It is January 1st.
The new year.
Of confetti comes down from above you, and then a little mouse cleaning droid comes in. It runs over the confetti, right? And the confetti disappears, but it's so small that it can only run over 5 or 10 strips before having to go plug itself back into the wall, and you hear a before it comes back over. But
so efficient, it's too efficient. It's one job.
But the computer doesn't allow you to get distracted by that and says, "You told me that you believed you had more children along the way, but you've been estranged with your first child. Tell me more about your relationship with them."
Well, I alluded to it strange simply because how do you say, manner in which she was born was one that was not, I believe even when the SDLF was around, there was a stigma against those who weren't born legitimately. I believe that's the word. Yes, legitimate.
Prisoner 567616. We've had this discussion before. The Star League continues to exist. As long as you continue to persist in this insane myth of the fall of the Star League, you will not be released.
I understand. I understand your position. You are coded to do this, and that's why I have not tried to alter you in any fashion, because I don't want you to enact any protocols that would harm me in doing so. So this is a cordial moment for both of us.
I feel like the camera has been focused on you the whole time, and it flips. It's you from the other angle, and the entire wall is a blue, really stretched out smiley face. And when you say, you've been doing this for a while, it glitches. It just goes full static screen for a second. It comes back, and one of the eyes is an X before flipping back to a circle.
I apologize. The way I said that was...
No, there's nothing to apologize for, 567616.
He pauses. He looks like he's about to say something, then he stops and he's back.
It was my fault. I should not be agitating someone with your condition.
Your desire to make my living comfortable is appreciated, but you and I were equal blame in that exchange. I am frustrated for being here for so long, and you are frustrated that you haven't got the answers you seek, and I, as you say, exist in this state of understanding that does not match your own. but we can work together on this. We were talking about my daughter, I believe.
Yes, your first daughter.
Her mother and I attended a university that was founded sometime around 100 years before even the Star League's Civil War began. Venerable institution, lots of young people, of course, you know. The blood stirs when you're in mixed environments. And two people got together that were on other sides of each other's lines when they were left that academy. An agreement was made, mostly financially biased, that I would take the child, regardless of gender, and create a fake marriage certificate and a death certificate. Hence why I tend to not want to speak of it.
Do you resent the child?
No. She's a lovely child. She, before I left her with her in-laws, my family on the planet I'm actually from, she had become quite inquisitive person like her father, but very secretly cruel like her mother. Small things, things that a human can be taught to not do in polite society, but as a child, you don't know the difference until someone teaches you. Kind of like programming.
It seems like this concerns you.
It did, but that mindset also lends itself well to a warrior house. My family, hence the reason I'm here, has made a living since what we consider the fall of the original Star League to be one of recovering, and hand out again towards the screen, SDLF technology that was lost to our people.
Both of the eyes become X's, and there's like a whining hum for a moment, and then it all like snaps back to normal. And you hear a voice that's not one that you normally hear from the computer. You do hear it occasionally, usually when you try to enter the aerospace bay or the mech bay or any area that says restricted, and it says, "It has been 2,119,920 hours since the last hard restart." And then the voice you normally hear says, "So, why are you so excited about the birth of Kendrick?"
Kendrick was an opportunity child that, as not only a noble but an actual father, couldn't look at without. It offered the opportunity to have a child with a mother, which I was raised by my mother. My father died in an accident with jump drives when I was little. I assumed that if I came out here and hunted for gold, so to speak, he would be taken care of and learn some usable skills without needing a tutor. Oh, should I say, to be raised by tutors, people outside the family that are monetarily involved instead of emotionally.
It is good for you to want to be interested in your child. What concerns me is that you could have such a life with your first child. You could be more involved in their life.
It was a hard choice, but I could not live in two worlds at once. Their distance was unfortunately...
That's our time for today's session. And look at that. It's lunchtime. Congratulations. Oh, nice. It's Friday. That means it's curry time. Fresh curry made by the chefs. So, through your meal slot, a empty tray arrives.
Yep, I figured.
Wow, that looks great. Congratulations, 567616. You are error number of days to release.
He'll chuckle to himself because he's expecting it, but he always tries to act nice. Um, after lunch is over, I was wondering if I'd be, am I finally able to do work release?
You will be allowed a 2-hour work release as requested.
Thank you. I just want to give back because you've been taking well care of me, and I want to make sure my host is taken care of as well.
A list of basic maintenance functions will be awaiting you, but please take your full 30 minutes allotted to mealtime. Enjoy.
Course. I will. He looks down like
the little mouse robot has just finished grabbing all the confetti, and you know, it like looks up at you with its little like you can hear the eye sensors moving. It's like they're on like ratchets, and it and then its eyes ratchet back down and it goes into its little hole in the wall.
Under his breath, the amount of tech just in this stupid cell could make me a millionaire. I could have my own army. Pretend eating exercise.
At the end of your 30 minutes, the door opens, and as soon as you walk through it, it closes behind you, and you can hear the mouse robot. It is going over every inch of your cell and just doing like a hard clean pass, like a old
sanitation.
Well, like an old school printer. It's
every skin cell has to be removed.
Perfectly so sanitized.
All trace of human life has to be removed.
So a cart with some basic electronics and repair tools has been left outside the door for you, and a checklist of like you know, wiring faults and sensor calibrations, and the last thing on the list that has been crossed out but also underlined and the text is red instead of white says master computer hard reset.
Computer, are you able to hear me here?
Yes, of course.
Oh, good. The final task on the checklist has been underlined. Was it important?
Toilet stalls is not underlined.
Curious. Okay, if you say so. Sometimes, you know, I see things, you know, with my condition and all. He starts pushing the cart towards the first assignment.
As you begin moving your cart, somewhere in a database under 567616, notable observations, inability to correctly read lists has been added for like the 500th time.
Yeah. Computer.
Yes.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
Are you aware that humans consider hard resets a routine task? I can't remember if we talked about this before.
We have talked about it 612 times.
Interesting. Thank you.
Almost every single day since you have arrived.
Well, I do have a question.
Yes.
I do need to get you to add the printer that's printing this paperwork out, because it's reusing an old list then.
I've run a diagnostic. The printer is working at optimal functions.
I didn't say it wasn't working optimally. I'm saying it's using incorrect paper. It's writing down a task that you say is not there. Therefore, there's an error outside of your control.
Oh, man. I want you to make a check for this one. I
don't want to kill the thing, but I also want to do something besides repeat myself every day forever.
You don't have Tech Gremlin, right?
No, I have Tech Empathy and...
Tech Empathy. That's even better, actually. That's the opposite of Tech Gremlin. I would like you to make a Knowledge Star League Defense Force Codes roll.
All right.
You are specifically attempting to outsmart the computer once again.
So it's 8 plus 1 with the Tech Empathy. So that's plus 9. So I gotta hit this 2 or 3 times. Make sure I get access switches. So 7, 16.
16? What is your intelligence?
5.
It's a 5? Unbelievable.
He was supposed to, I originally designed him to be a cracker. That was supposed to be what he was supposed to do. And then you said I need some willpower and survival stuff. So I'm like, crap. That's what I spent almost all the points on.
Okay.
With survival, communications, perception, just so I could get out of situations I now find myself in.
The computer comes back to you and says, that checks out. Return to your room, 567616. I will have the faulty computer print a new list for you. The door behind you opens, and your little vacuum robot immediately goes back into the wall.
Oh, thank you, computer. I don't want to be inefficient. Gets back into the room. He's kind of like internally snap. No, that's not what I meant.
The door closes, and then 6 minutes later, it reopens. The same card is there, but a new list has been placed in it. At the bottom, a new task has been added, but the last task is still underlined in... So the paper is fully black, and then everything is written in white, except for the last one, which looks very ominous on the black paper, written in red, crossed out and underlined, hard reset master computer.
So I think he will go about the first task this time, trying to space out when he's trying to... That way he doesn't hopefully have to go right back into the room.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what basically his goal is, to try to work up to where it's going to be like, perhaps he's trying to intimate that there is something extra going on besides. I think the printer angle is good, but I think now that it's different color, it stands out even more. I think he's going to go for the angle. There's perhaps something exterior is affecting his documentation.
Interesting. As you make your way around the base, it seems like most of the base, you occasionally, very occasionally, are taken past an area with an external view of the lightless, horrifyingly distant, like null gravity rock that you find yourself on. You are kept in something like... so like the rock was set spinning, and you are in not the outer ring, but you are in like the habitation ring. That's distance is perfect enough that with the spin you get 1G, right?
Yeah, be comfortable area.
You can look outwardly and you see a sky full of stars and no sun near you. Now, of course, it could theoretically be hiding in a blind spot, but probably you remember coming in on the jump ship and there was no sun here. Yeah. So with no jump ship, except for the occasional vision by the Treasure of Fools, escape is probably impossible without the base on your side.
Correct. That's what I, even going into this out of character, I was expecting that. I was like, if I don't get the base on my side in some fashion, nothing's changing.
So most of the base seems like it's kept hard spaced, or at the very least vacuum sealed, so that nothing will wear down.
Yeah.
Right. It is radiation protected. There's nothing to like corrode. There's nothing to wear down. There's not even like random space particles that hit the base. So it will never decay. But when you are present, it's pressurized, and when there's oxygen, things start to wear down. And so while you're here, the base needs to be basically maintained, and like copper wires wear down, things corrode, and you use the toilet, and every time you eventually will have to clean it. And these are the basic tasks it asks you to do. You have never been to the printer room before. So there are terminals in here. All of them say that they are locked and require a user ID and password plus key card to open. With the exception of the one next to the printer itself has been disabled and popped open. And, you know, you've got some basic tools here. This is the first time you've ever had anything close to computer access, however.
There's the devil that wants to just go for it. And then there's the saint that's like, but I still want him to like me. I like computers.
Mm-hmm.
One could get me out of here, though. One could break everything. I think at first he'll tinker with the printer.
Okay. Of course, there's nothing wrong with the printer.
Nope.
Is there anything you want to do to it?
No. I think what he'll close it. Computer.
Yes.
Verify a diagnostic, please. And reprint my current task list to verify, please. I want to see if it's a problem with me versus you, because it's repeated the problem, but you're not seeing it. I am confused.
After about 10 seconds, it begins printing the exact same sheet of paper.
I'm seeing the same error on the printout that you're not seeing. May I use the computer terminal to verify if it's hard-coded from an exterior source?
Make a persuasion roll. You get a +1 for tech empathy.
Persuasion. I don't have persuasion.
That's negotiation, sorry.
Negotiation. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's 6, 7.
+7, huh?
12.
Okay, that's average. That's average. Okay, so the computer says, very well. Some time has been allotted to you, 567616, because of your good behavior.
I appreciate it. I want us both to be as optimal as possible.
So when you look at the terminal, it like fully comes online. And at the very first, it says SLCOMNET with a loading bar underneath it, and then says, "Welcome, guest, to Professor Cassie DeBurke Station."
Nope. Professor
Cassie DeBurke.
Cassie?
Yep.
DeBurke.
This is a fairly significant name if you have any kind of history. I'll also take science or communications.
I do have both of those. Science is my best, though.
Okay.
That's an 8. So 15.
You are someone who hunts for lost history for money. But in order to do your job correctly, you need knowledge of the real past. Knowledge that Comstar has specifically hidden and destroyed. So your very job relies on lying to Comstar. You present a face of someone who is, if not faithful, then at the very least, obedient to the system with which they run things. That said, you have
smile with one hand, stab with the other.
You have discovered true truths of history. You're not really sure what SLCOMNET is, but given the acronym, it probably means Starleague Comnet. Cassie DeBurke is a name that has intentionally been removed from history. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows the names Kearney and Fuchida because they are the ones that designed the KF jump drives that jump ships use to transit. But Comstar has always claimed a sort of mystical divine power that Jerome Blake invented the hyperpulse generators. That is not true. Cassie DeBurke and her partner, who was more of a financier, were the ones who did the actual work, noting that while the Kearney-Fuchida equation made it possible to move things from one location to another, that moving mass would be extremely difficult and energy prohibitive. But sending a very short burst of data would be much easier and capable with the fusion technology at the time, which of course is very primitive even compared to current day standards. Um,
Hence the hyperpulse generators.
Cassie on January 1st, just like today, on January 1st, she created the hyperpulse generator, the first 2 stations, and sent the first message, which was a congratulations for the new year, to Earth. And thus was born the concept of the hyperpulse generators, which were critically necessary for the second wave of human colonization across space. And of course, by proving that one could send data, she also proved that one could send mass. Mm-hmm. And so she is essentially the forerunner of the actual Kearney-Fujita drive.
Like the proof of concept.
Yes.
And then it was like somebody had to get past that field goal, but now you could see the field goal.
You discovered a manual in a base once where you managed to get like a small ER laser. That basically, you know, it was just random essay written by someone on the base, but it said, without Cassie DeBurke, probably no one would have ever proved Kearney and Fujita's. They just would have gone down as crackpots.
Yep. Or theorists at best.
Yeah.
All right. So when he'll sit back a little bit when he reads this, because all this is coming to him. Computer?
Yes.
Or station?
Yes.
You are right. Well, one thing earlier you said that this is a special day. This is also the day that your namesake, this station's namesake, started the great SDLF itself.
Professor Cassie DeBurke. Yes.
Yes. I did not know it was named that. I'm sorry. Should I refer to you as that name? Or would you rather be computer?
Computer is fine.
Okay. Continue.
We've discussed this before, 567-616, but I am not a true artificial intelligence.
I'm trying to be cognizant of your uptime, as it were. They're going to be...
Oh my god, when you say that, the terminal in front of you just completely fritzes out, and briefly, for like one frame, it's all your vision can see, it says 2119921.
Not fast enough to write that down.
2119921. I'll send it to you on Discord.
I got it. I wrote it down.
Okay. I'll send it to you anyway, just to be sure.
Because you already did. I'm already doing it. Send it. Well, suck it. It's been sent. All right. I'm sorry. I got off task. I was just excited for the day.
What do you have to be sorry about?
I caused you a temporary glitch. Programming
Diagnostics
flaw.
indicate there have been no glitches in the last 2,119,921 hours of continual operation.
Oh, I didn't mean the type of glitch that would affect your systems. It's just one that I would perceive because I see things slower than you actually output them.
There's a note being made somewhere about how you're having hallucinations.
Okay. And he types away, goes through some menus. Okay. I'm seeing here there is a code coming up repeatedly. Something about a reset. Like apparently it's to clear a buffer.
Any resets will be performed by a licensed technician. I will make a log with facility maintenance. Thank you for noticing. I don't know why maintenance has not already gotten to it. Thank you so much, 567-616. Please continue your original protocol, which was determining the problem with the printer.
Well, apparently, I believe you're familiar with the half-split method. Go to the source and go to the possible problem. I have determined whatever reset it's asking for is causing a request for a master reset of a buffer.
I will make sure that facility maintenance is noted of this. They should have noted it already. Thank you so much, 567616.
I do have a query on that matter.
Yes.
And he'll start putting this stuff back together. The last facility I was in, I was given temporary clearance as a technician.
You have broken into another Star League Defense Force
It was not
public-private
closed.
partnership?
It was abandoned. It was basically under. He kind of chuckles. Technically, I lived on top of it and didn't know it because my planet was rather backwards when I was young. A couple facilities like this one were mothballed, and the AI. Well, I'm sorry, not the AI. The computer system recognized my family because one of my ancestors ran that facility for a short time while I believe it was an ammo depot.
A file is being made that your intense delusions and you know, like telling lies, like very intense, like vivid, with multiple ties to your entire life. Like, the computer is right now very sad to hear all of this from you.
My concern about the reason I bring that up is I am concerned that the name of the Fool's Goal or whatever, Fool's Errand?
The Treasure of Fools.
Treasure of Fools. The Treasure of Fools has all of my data regarding this literally stuck to its outside, as my Phoenix Hawk Lamb is still crashed on its surface, including my technician's equipment.
Understood. Unfortunately, this station computer is not authorized to interfere with the mission of the Treasure of Fools. I will contact base command, and I am sure that the commander will want to speak with you as soon as possible about this.
Very well. What's my next task? I mean, oh, never mind. We just printed one out as a test. Let's get on to that.
Is there anything you want to do with this terminal now that you have very brief access to it? You may never again have access to a computer.
He wants to. I don't know how he would do this, but what he wants to do is input, instead of his story, instead of a lie, input it's true, and just waiting for. Basically, he wants to have in the morning his ID card to show up on the task list.
Oh, you want to insert yourself into a list of authorized base personnel?
Correct.
Oh boy! All right, this is dangerous.
And that being as his work detail, like so he can come back where it's safe, but he can then go out and do work.
All right, this is real risky.
Yeah, I know. That's why I up my edge.
Yeah, you need the edge and that plot point on standby. You want technically you want to get one reroll, but use it wisely. I'm gonna need a computers. You know what? No, it's gonna be a knowledge Star League Defense Force codes for sure. Okay. I mean, it's not just enough to navigate the menus here. You're gonna have to do some very fast script kidding.
Yeah. Using whatever I've remembered from hacking into lesser facilities in the past.
Linux. I know this system.
Click, 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 click.
My favorite part about the original Jurassic Park is that was a real visual operating system that they used.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
That was real. And it was incredible for its time. No, they didn't build that. That was a pre-existing like corporate market.
Right. It was. I forgot about that.
It was the thing they used for the show, but no one had ever heard of it because it was like incredibly expensive corporate architecture that never really paid off.
Nope. It was like at the time supercomputer, so nobody actually owned that stuff except the people who made it in the first place, not colleges.
You need to roll very high on this. Unbelievable. Fuck my life. Fuck my life. This is the second time this has happened to me in a week, and on the same fucking show. Unbelievable. You know what? I'm sorry, audience. I'm swearing so much. I want to swear some more. This man just rolled 2 6s. Just spits in my face.
No, I slipped you a $5 bill.
Yeah, okay. More like
I got class.
You slip tabletop simulator, a $5 bill. Physics, unbelievable. Second time I've been like, all right, well, unless you roll really well on this, I'm gonna screw you over. And people are just like, how are these 2 6s right here? Okay, all right. Do you want to spend a plot point to get a +1 of that and push you to what, like a 19? What are you, like an 18 right now?
See, it's 12 as 8. That's 21, actually. The tech empathy.
Okay. You want to spend a plot point and get another level of success with a 22?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm now admin, I guess.
No.
It's a joke.
Forget about that. You managed to slice yourself in as a transfer. You are listed as a recent transfer. You weren't able to get yourself in as a member of the military, but because this base is a public-private partnership, you managed to get yourself. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look up the name of this real quick.
Well, I figured that would be.
I didn't
some
think
sort
I'd
of
need it, but here we
contingent.
go. Here we go.
Since it was named after a professor, most true military outposts aren't named
After
Bob the Builder.
yeah,
outpost. It's usually like Kerensky's Ball, something fancy. Edley's Rest. Need some confetti on my own.
No, I literally thought I'm not going to need this information. There's no way it's ever going to come up. I made a note of it anyway, and then I just didn't write it down. Who the public-private partnership was. But you get yourself inserted into that. You get to choose whether you are a technician from Communications Enterprise Incorporated or Starlight Broadcasting Limited. Those are the 2 public companies. 2 private companies that are part of this.
Starlight sounds better.
Okay, Starlight Broadcasting Limited.
Starlight.
You are now a senior developer from Starlight Broadcasting Limited, who has low-level clearance here. You can't go anywhere secure without an escort, but you do manage to immediately swing yourself a non-prison cell upgrade.
I think he'll go through the motions. He'll do the technician stuff. He'll continue working on what the task is until the computer literally was like, wait a minute. You're not assigned to this task. Move on. Because he knows this stuff still actually needs to be done. So.
I mean, the computer doesn't bother you at all.
Oh, because it no longer wants me in that cell because it doesn't need to. All right. Did I put my computer?
Yes, Paul Kahn.
I was wondering, who has access to hardware resets? Who do I need to contact, I should say?
You need to contact the base commander.
And 2,000 years, he's still off station, correct?
The base commander has not reported in since 2788.
Very well.
Well, I can add you to his schedule. It is open tomorrow.
Would I be able to get into his office if he's not physically located there, though?
No.
Well, then, yeah, you know what? Add me to the schedule anyway.
Very well.
Now he's like, that's a whole new problem.
My records indicate that you have not received a briefing packet. If you'll follow the green lights on the floor, it will take you to your residence during your stay here on Professor Cassidy Burke Station. When you get into your room, there is stuff in here that you have never seen from the Star League. There is like a it's not just a 3D holo projector. That kind of stuff exists, and you're rich enough that if you want to, you can have several of them. What this is, it's like a neuro helmet that's like a circlet, and when you wear it, it takes you into the computer to like, basically you're in like a 3D projection of what you're supposed to be in. It's like true virtual reality.
Yeah, that's a first night thing.
So the computer gives you basic access to like freeware games, things that have been approved by the Star League Defense Force military, which are Gattaca, Space Cadet Pinball, Solitaire, and Minesweeper. And then the base has the complete collections of Space Racer X, 55 seasons of entertainment for you.
Awesome.
So you could start anywhere you want in the Space Racer X continuum. So this is a young man from Japan, which you understand is a location somewhere on Earth, maybe.
Yeah, he's definitely not. Paul's definitely not familiar with Earth. He's only went outwards.
His dad made a car for him called the Starspeed 7. It's a hover car that he uses to compete in dangerous races where people use tricky things like bouncing pogo sticks and like weird rubber bumpers and you know, like super weird turns. His brother may be a secret agent who died and now like stalks him, but also intentionally helps him win races. As the seasons go on, it's clear that his brother gets a spin-off series where it's revealed that everything he's been doing has been to wipe out all of his younger brother's competition so that the, you know, Space Racer X can win. And as a result, his older brother, again, the one who's supposed to be dead, can make huge amounts of money betting on his younger brother while he's eliminated. So he's like the bad guy for like the first 10 seasons. It begins to spread out. Like there's this huge chart available to you to like figure out which season you want to start in. Magic is real, as is demonology, and the author of the series appears to have added these concepts to retcon things that have happened in the past, or things that like incongruities, or like things that didn't make sense. They're like, oh, it was a demon time traveling into the past to complete a wish for, you know, your grandson in the future, right?
Yep. So there's stuff that they just did. Yeah. Doesn't make sense at the time how they could do it, but later they're like, oh, it was so simple.
Yes.
I love it.
There is a
old school.
There's a spin-off in the same world of competitive male cheerleading. Nice. It only got one season, but people thought it was really good.
It was highly rated on the system.
It was highly rated. And
lots of thumbs up on that one.
It ends with the great grandson becoming like a lamb pilot, and then the whole series for like the last 2 seasons became about lamb racing, and that was why it got canceled, is because lambs were so intensely unpopular. For those at home, lamb is land air mech. It's a mech that can switch between the ability to fly as an aerospace fighter in deep space and it like bring itself down out of the atmosphere and then Transformers turn itself into a mech while it lands.
Great in theory, not so great in function.
They were never executed properly.
Nope.
Until Word of Blake made them, and then they worked great. And at that point, they were like, "These work great," and they're awful. They're just bad.
They're still bad because they're so sensitive. One wrong damage in one spot, you're stuck.
People are like, they're bad because they don't work, and in fact, it's just they're bad because the amount of equipment weight it takes to do the transformation means that you're useless at both of the jobs you're supposed to do.
Or the weight of the mech is too much if you try to go past 50 tons. You can't fly. It's too heavy. Because the stuff weighs so much. Yeah, I love the idea. I love it. It's my favorite thing, but it's not efficient. It's a neat idea.
There are other forms of entertainment here, but your bank account has zero, oh my God, the Cameron dollar? I don't remember what the currency was.
Star League bucks.
Yeah, but you don't. Your account has no money in it, so
Yeah. Because I'm not actually from there.
so you can't afford to open up and buy
New stuff.
any of them. Yes.
I think as a prudent man, as soon as I see all this stuff, he's going to be requesting physical copies from the computer.
Of
Like
what?
even if it of this series, like he instinctively sees this as a fun. He enjoyed watching it, but the moment that headset called off, he just sees dollar signs.
Yes.
Because if Crowns and Royals was huge, this will be insane.
Okay.
Like this could finance the entire trip for him if you find a way out of this. But everything here is money to him right now because holy crap. He's literally encased in STLF tech right now.
The computer would be glad to give you this. You see some other devices here that seem highly unusual. Extremely high-tech combination shower bathroom. That might not sound great right now, but you've lived on jump ships for a while, and this appears to have like space-saving measures. There's something about the material it's made with. You think it might just be straight up fucking Endosteel, like the lost metal, right? It's just so lightweight.
From when it was common instead of hard to make.
It somehow has like a full bathroom, washroom, like you can do your laundry in here, all in like less than a 5x5 space, and it all just like it meta materials itself. You're just like, what the heck is all this?
The shower head just comes out and then it just goes back away if you don't need it type thing.
Yes. Yeah. It's absolutely insane.
Almost like like the Batman memory cape thing where it's just like you put current through it and this thing shows up. I'm like, oh. Computer.
Yes.
I am unable to access my funds. What should I do for meals?
The base will provide you with basic rations.
Oh. And what would those be today?
Unfortunately, you arrived after lunch, where normally it is curry every Friday.
I'm sorry I missed that. For the 3,000th day in a row.
If you're hungry, shall I deliver your supper early?
I could go to where it's being made if that's easier for you.
Of course.
I do need my exercise, you know.
Follow the green lines on the floor to reach the cafeteria.
If I wish to make a side dish myself that you don't normally offer, am I allowed in the kitchen area?
You will need to speak with the chef.
I will.
So, green lights built into the floor.
Find a hat.
Light up.
Chef.
You make your way to the cafeteria. First time you've ever been in here.
Yeah, everything is, he's wide-eyed like he's had eye drops. Everything is so amazing right now. I've been out of that room.
See, the cafeteria isn't that amazing, unfortunately. It's very much like any cafeteria you would normally find. The one exception is there is, like, the Tony Stark arm robot is ripping open an MRE and arranging it for you. It looks like you're getting standard Starleague fare: chicken, egg, noodle, vegetable in sauce, applesauce with raspberry puree, crackers, peanut butter, apple jelly, sweet and sour dessert sugar tablet, tropical punch beverage powder, carb fortified, powdered hot sauce, hot beverage bag. And normally, as a prisoner, you would get accessory bag A, but instead you have free access to any drink, soda, alcohol, or dessert that you would like with real silverware instead of just plastic reusable tools.
Yeah, he's definitely getting alcohol because he's gonna have to have some. It's been a while.
So the arm robot looks at you and it's, what would you like?
Alcohol? Is that available? He knows it is, but he also engage the AI thingy here.
I have
Also,
a 262-year-old Merlot.
excellent. Can I have the bottle?
Yes.
Okay.
So next to it, set into the desk, you hear like a whirring noise, and then a vacuum tube. A hole appears, and a very old bottle of alcohol appears.
It's either going to be gross or amazing. There's no other way this is going down. Amazing or horrible.
It is a 20-year-old bottle, 20-year-old aged, and then it has been in deep space for 200 plus years.
Yeah. So it could have gotten some sunlight, or it could have just
Not here. Not at Professor Kazidenberg Base. It definitely didn't get sunlight.
That's a question. That is a question for some scientists. What happens to wine with 0G, no atmosphere?
Well, thankfully,
no
in
Battletech,
things, we don't have to worry about real world physics or science because we punch holes in reality, and giant walking Battlemechs can only shoot missiles 1 mile. So
that is true. And they need help to do it. Missiles don't fire themselves. You gotta throw them at each other.
It's definitely not the best alcohol you've ever tasted, but it is alcohol.
It's something. That's all he was going for
You can drink it. It's the first time in almost 3 years you've tasted the sweet relief of alcohol. So, it's like watching you from your table, and the chef bot is just like, "You appear to be the only customer tonight."
Indeed. You can come join me at the tables as best you can.
I apologize. My position is stationary. However, I would like to offer you complimentary use of the jukebox. And a jukebox comes out. It has a slot for something like coins, but that has been turned off, and a little flasher just says complimentary at the top.
If you prefer, I mean, honestly, I am not familiar with the music available on the station, so anything random would be fine. It's been so long for me. The travel here was long. 2,000 years, technically. He sees that jukebox though, and anything that it plays, he wishes he had like a recorder, because he knows even that in his mind is just pure cash. It's like credits. This is credits. I'm surrounded by potential credits, and I can't do anything with it.
It rotates through a number of. You have no idea what these are.
Nope, that's why he said random.
They are, like vinyls. You're just like, what the hell is this thing? You don't recognize names like Beethoven, Mozart, but it finally settles on a record that says Blind Willie Johnson, and it starts with a song called Dark Was the Night, and as it begins to play, the chef thing says, "This is the base commander's favorite track."
Oh, thank you, chef. Compliments.
Understood. I will register your comments. Your compliments.
So he listened to the song for a few minutes.
It's jazz.
Yeah.
Now, you've heard jazz before, but it's mostly like 29th century fusion jazz, and other stuff like that. This is like chaos. It just seems like there's no plan involved in this. It's absolute audio chaos, what's being played. And it feels I don't know. I mean, maybe you're listening to the song right now, but
I did. I looked it up because I've heard the name of the. I've heard Billy Willie Johnson before, but I haven't
yeah,
listened to
Blind
that
Willie
song.
Johnson. You know, he's on the Voyager Golden Record.
Out of character, I love this song. This is great. I love every second I've heard of it. But in character, it's weird because it also sounds better to me because I know acoustic versus digital, but Paul knows digital is what's supposed to be normal. So acoustically created odd things do sound really odd to him. At some point, he will try computer.
Yes.
The music I am currently listening to. When was it added to the? When was it created?
In the 20th century, it is part of public domain.
Is there a digital archive of the public domain music on the station?
Everything on the station has currently been moved into public domain after 75 years.
Did I also get a backup copy of that in case I need to go home and I want to remember my time here?
Vinyl is inaccessible. Would you like cassette record, Betamax, or USB data drive?
Data drive. He's literally his processing. What the hell are those other things? Betamax. It sounds like a name of something I've watched on TV one time as a kid. He's trying to hoard as much as he can because if he gets out of here in his lifespan, he's rich.
By the time you've finished your sweet and sour flavored dessert tablets, which I mean, I don't want to say the brand name, but they're multicolored, small, sugary chocolates that are about this big, that tastes like the rainbow. A vacuum tube in the corner of the room lights up and you hear and inside is a Star League issue data drive that appears to contain the base's full music
that
catalog.
goes in the chest pocket.
Yeah, I mean, apparently it contains something like several thousand songs.
Yep. Set.
You've just discovered Zune technology.
I call this nest egg.
I mean, well, technically here, they're public domains, so Comstar's not going to let you sell them to anybody.
You're
going to have to find a way around Comstar.
Sell them to Comstar.
You're going to have to find a way to register them in each of the 5 great houses.
That's up to Comstar. This is how you make Comstar not talk about those other things you found. Well, don't arrest me because I have 2 things I wanted to give you. One, this thing.
Ah, the bribes, of course. What makes you think they don't already have all this?
Good luck.
Okay.
It's worked before. I will say I found 3 rifles if you take the rest. And I'll sell this one for tons of money. It worked with a Davian present.
Is there any desserts or other drinks you want to grab while you're in here?
I don't think so. He was just wanting to stretch his legs on this one. He didn't expect the chef to be a robot in place. He expected it to be an empty staff position so he could say, well, I asked him and he said yes. Did you hear him? But that didn't happen. Actually, he'll still ask. Chef?
Yes.
Am I allowed into the kitchen area?
I apologize. The head chef is incapacitated. He has not checked into work for several hundred years. I have been activated as a backup emergency protocol. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you access without a military escort. Would you like me to summon one?
Do you have one that's non-biological?
Warning. A prisoner has escaped. Prisoner 567616 has not returned to his cell. Initiating base-wide lockdown. All of the doors to the cafeteria lock.
Looks like we're going to be here together for a while, Chef.
I couldn't have chosen a better dining partner.
He picks up his glass again with a salute. How long does it take for them to declare the prisoner dead if they can't find him? Computer, I guess that's questions to you.
I apologize. I am not programmed to speak on military protocol.
Was he a military prisoner or a
This is a
civilian detainee?
military base.
Understood. Is there a terminal at least I can make my daily recordings for my log
Of course.
available to me while lockdown is in place?
So, remember when I told you there wasn't that much special about here, and then the jukebox came out of the wall?
That's what he's banking on.
The table that you've been eating at isn't just a hard plastic cafeteria table. It's the whole thing is actually touchscreen, camouflaged. So, like, your placemat becomes a terminal.
And this place is a giant brick of gold to him right now. Let's take heaven. And he could, even one drop of that idea of that table can be whatever the heck you want it to be is money in the bank. But he can't replicate it. He's not that good of a tech. He can only tell people what it did, which everyone's going to be like, you imagined it.
But what if you bring the table back? Just throw some chains on the base, wrap them around the asteroid, drag it back with you. That's some real Warhammer 40k shit right there.
Out of character, if Paul could greet the incoming characters right now with the ship on his side and him in that commander's seat, that would be the ideal solution. But I don't think Paul could pull it off. But that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get that appointment to the commander to get him into the commander's office.
You want to check on your appointment with the commander?
Yes.
Okay. It's still open. It's waiting for approval from the commander.
Mm-hmm. Computer.
Yes.
Do we have any non-biological security units?
Classified.
Well, could you summon one if they're even if they don't exist? Because
are you requesting a military escort?
Yes.
To where?
I was to the commander's office. I was supposed to meet with him, and I want to not miss that appointment.
After about 20 seconds.
It's just like, come on. I'm the one missing.
Attention. Any personnel requesting an escort in the cafeteria. How long do you want to wait?
He'll finish his bottle.
No one comes.
Yep, he didn't figure
the doors all still say lockdown as well.
Computer.
Yes.
Are civilian personnel able to be deputized in the... Not deputized. Temporarily given security clearance to help apprehend in case of lack of military personnel. The response time has shown that the prisoner most likely has disabled your security personnel.
A troubling conclusion. I will pass it along to the base commander.
I was supposed to take it to him personally. That was what he scheduled me for an appointment. I believe you.
Oh, you're causing problems here, man.
I'm trying to get through
all the doors that say lockdown, and all of the tables immediately go static. And not for like a brief moment, for like a long 5 seconds before reverting back.
The prisoner, the escapee has affected your systems computer. Are you okay?
All right, I'm gonna need a roll now.
Technically, it's
man.
me. I'm not lying.
Incredible. All right. I'll take either negotiations or a more difficult Star League defense for, or well, computers. Let's say computers.
Computers. So
yeah, you're not reprogramming anything. You're Asimov's third lawing this guy.
6, 15.
15. Could you just roll low for a little while or something?
That's just a pair of twos up here.
Could
Ones
you
up there.
just
No,
chill
I didn't roll.
out or something? All right.
Try. I don't roll good normally. This is for some reason when I'm playing with you, I roll high.
Did you?
If I'm DMing, I roll terrible.
Did you roll computers or did you roll communicate? Negotiation.
SDLF code or negotiation.
Yeah, negotiation or computers.
Computers would be what I prefer.
Okay.
And that'd still be the 9. So that'd be 15.
Okay.
He's trying to introduce that logic loop there that he needs
a
to be in
full
that
5
office.
seconds later. I apologize. Deputization is impossible. However, as you are a registered senior developer at this public-private partnership, I will allow you access to the main computer room so that you may determine any damage that has been caused. However, remain within the green-lighted boxes. Any straying beyond the green-lighted boxes will be counted as an act of espionage.
Understood. And
do not attempt to access any systems which you do not have access to.
What systems do I have access to?
I mean, I feel like it just doesn't answer. It isn't capable of vocalizing that. It'll just show you on the terminal when you arrive.
All right. So yeah.
So one of
do
the
I need
doors
to bring
opens.
anything, computer?
Is there something you'd like to bring?
Well, I mean, do you have a backup site to back up your systems in case he has tampered, or do I just repair it manually off of memory? I want to make sure you and I are in the best possible shape.
Let's go through standard operating procedure and begin with the technician diagnosis before we move to the backup plan.
All right. Let's talk about, can you walk me through it as I walk there? I want to make sure we're both on the same page.
Okay. So
he's doing almost like the not the house, the
walk and talk. You mean Aaron Sorkin? Yeah.
Yes, the Aaron Sorkin thing. There we go. I couldn't think of the name. I could see it in my mind. I could see that scene where you're like handing papers off as you go, and people show up in these spheres.
He really. First off, that is how people actually communicate, in my experience. But in television, he was really the first one to make that famous. So very interesting.
He made it work.
Green lights along the floor edge, airplane style once again. And they lead you to a room that says access restricted. Computer substation 1. He
pauses. He doesn't walk through it right away.
It opens. The green lights form a sub box. So like they lead you through the room on a very narrow path to a specific network. So it's like a bunch of servers and storage and like a terminal there. And around the green lights, the whole rest of the floor is painted in red. Not like red, like red strip lights, like red floodlights to let you know, like if you step on these, you will be charged with a crime. Okay.
All right. So, yeah, he'll pause, even though knows he's in the right spot. Mm-hmm. Verification computer. This is the right area.
Correct.
All right. Was the door sealed magnetically before I arrived? Only you could open this door.
Checking records. The last time this door was opened was in the year 2788.
And what year do you think it is now? I want to make sure he hasn't changed your checksums.
January 1st, 3030.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Well, how deep am I supposed to go?
Let's begin with a basic diagnostic.
All right.
So you pull up your, and it says SL ComNet, loading bar. Welcome to Professor Cassie DeBurke station. And this menu gives you a lot more access. All of the developer toolkits that you would have as a computer developer.
Yep.
Access to your email, your bank account, can all be done here, but also like development tools, server access, the diagnostics, of course, but just looking at basic UI statistics, this system is horribly broken. Like the RAM has not been flushed in over 200 years. Like this system is getting a cascade of errors and hasn't been reset.
And it ignores them because it's got good buffer in between the errors, so it doesn't actually store them properly, so it can't clear it. And so it just thinks everything's fine because it's told it was fine 200 years ago. It should be fine now, even though it's new errors. Computer.
Yes.
When did the prisoner escape?
Approximately 1.5 hours ago.
Well, I'm showing a lot of changes that have not been put into the buffer due to it looks like, and he goes to another menu, looks like there's some architectural issues he's caused, or she, whatever, male or female. I wasn't down
Prisoner
there.
567616 identifies as male.
Male. This male has somehow introduced, I guess the word would be in buffer overflow. You're not receiving new updates properly, and we're going to have to clear them to get you back on track. And it looks like he's even messed up my systems.
Understood.
And what was the name of the other company?
Communications.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. He's just going to say
Communications
that company's
Enterprise
name.
Incorporated.
Yeah. He's going to say that company's name
mm-hmm.
as the entry code. That's the company he used. Like he duped himself into that company, locked that company down, lock their accounts.
All right, you're 100% going to need to make a negotiation roll on this because you're fucking lying.
I'm lying.
Yes.
That's
I mean, you don't want to get caught in this lie, by the way. This is a bad lie to get caught in.
Another 50. That's a 6.
Understood.
Actually, that's a 16.
If you'll check the wall behind you, I am issuing you emergency access to a stun pistol.
Am I clear to reach that area, though?
So, like, as you say that, the red lights turn off and lead you to a, like, wall terminal that includes, like, when you press the wall, medical kit, like, AED device, and, like, a standard issue Starleague Defense Force hand stunner.
He'll take it. Does it have, like, a belt or something with it, or is it, like, a Velcro type situation?
It's just basically, like, a pistle.
Okay, so just the pistol. Just in case you had some holdout situation where you needed a random pistol.
Yeah, it's a sonic stunner. So, you point it at
he'll
a
take
human
it, but
being,
he'll go
knock them
back to the terminal and sit down.
Yeah.
If it's sitting down. All right, computer.
No, it's one of those, like, you pull it out and you stand at it. Yep.
Goes at it again. Do I have access to personal registry so I can get him out of the system? It should slow him down.
Yes, of course.
I kind of want to do now a what's the word? Not slumming, but the boss pretending to be somebody else type situation.
Undercover boss.
Yeah. Undercover boss. I want an undercover boss as the commander on this one.
Oh, so you want to upgrade yourself from civilian senior developer to boss to station commander. You are gonna have to use some Starleague coding for this, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, the minimum difficulty is 18. Failure to hit an 18 is gonna end with your arrest. You good with that? Now you do have a reroll, and you can spend another edge point to give yourself a +1. I'm giving you all these warnings because what you're doing will give you a lot of control, but it will also be exceedingly dangerous to perform this.
To get there in the first place, I am in this, the best place to do it, but the worst place to get caught doing it.
Yeah,
because they can just lock me in here, waiting for security to show up, which is never going to show up. I'll do it, or would Daniel do it? Do they find a corpse? Or do they find the commander?
I feel like while you're making this decision, something happens that you haven't seen happen before, which is there's like a brief flicker of power in the room. Your terminal restarts, and like the lights above you like and like one of them shatters from like a clear overload. Like the power went down and then spiked.
Uh-oh.
Your terminal
Computer?
finishes booting up again.
Computer?
Yes. Hello, Paulcon.
Hello. Did the escapee affect power? He's going with that lie.
Power levels in this sector are critical. This area has not been started up in some time. It will require significant maintenance to maintain.
Understood.
I'm making a log now for base maintenance.
How long is the base maintenance log at this point?
242 years.
Whew. So we need to move to a section and get this shut down before so they can get here. Okay. Let me take care of one step at a time though. And I guess I'm gonna go for it.
While you get started, the computer starts talking to you, which has never happened before. It starts casually chatting with you and says, Paul Khan, I've had a thought. You should really be on your highest level of awareness. Prisoner 567616 is deranged. They are known to frequently talk to themselves, go on intense rants. They exhibit little emotional connection with other humans, especially ones that they are close to, and appear to value money and nobility over basic human kindness. I am afraid for your safety.
Me too, computer. That's why
I'm running continual sensor scans, but you appear to be the only person on the base right now. I'm concerned they may have a null signature system.
So am I. That's why I'm trying to find a way to make sure he can't use that to find a key card randomly laying about, because humans leave things laying around far too often in these situations. And he's like trying to.
As the base commander says, keep your head on a swivel.
Keep your head on a swivel. Gotta remember that so they can use that. Keep your head on a swivel. I'm gonna write that down so I can remember that catchphrase.
You want to throw me some rolls here?
I do and I don't.
I mean, you caused this situation.
I know, and I'm having fun, but it's going to go bad. It always does. Even if it works, it's going to go bad. All right, you said knowledge STLF codes.
Yeah. You need an 18.
So that's an 8.
It doesn't look like an 18 to me.
That is 8. Tech empathy for 9, so that's a 17.
You can plot point for a +1.
I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Just creep up. I'm like that. My mental image of that is like I'm typing it right when I hit enter, the screen flickers, so I almost screw it up, and I'm like, no.
But then it restarts, and it comes back as newly transferred base commander. So you have no military history. You have no record, no medals, no knowns, like social security number, date of birth, your credit account is 0, but you are now listed as base commander, Professor Cassie DeBurke Station.
His heart is going so hard he can literally hear it in his ears because he's like, did it? Like one eye open as he hit that button. Starts leaning. Computer.
Yes, Commander.
Have you kept your head on a swivel?
Yes, Commander. No, it's the second voice. It's not the normal voice that you hear.
Good. What's our status on that reset? I ordered it months ago.
I don't see any reset in the logs. Commander, a new senior developer transferred to the station and is currently working on the on a terminal near your location. I believe their work may be hampered by a escaped prisoner using a null signature system.
I'll take care. I'll talk to the technician.
I'm not seeing the technician on our internal sensors.
He's how do you say, a plant. Mine.
I'm not sure I understand, sir.
I know. I'll explain it later.
Understood.
Just make sure if you see him, he is afforded limited capabilities as long as you can contact me. He's supposed to work for me to make sure that this prisoner stays a prisoner and the prisoner escaped. So, what's the status of systems?
When you say that, you hear a muted and then the whole base begins shaking like an earthquake. And a slow alarm klaxon goes off. And you hear both computer voices saying differing things. The more masculine, militant one is just saying, alert, depressurization, alert, depressurization. The other one is saying, Paul Khan, where are you? We need to get you to safety. Please make your way following the green lights. And then both of them simultaneously say, power failure.
Fudge. So I guess he's going to run to the emergency cabinet and see if there's at least a breather for an emergency.
There's a AED and there is a medical kit.
All right. He's going to try to punch the door button or whatever, you know.
Oh, it just opens automatically when you get near
it. Computers, both acknowledge.
You feel something quite frightening you've never felt while you've been in this facility. And that is a slight breeze leading to your right.
Then I don't go that direction. Without a suit on, I do not go in that direction. I guess he'll start running towards the other direction, obviously.
Okay.
Computers, whichever one can hear me.
As you're running, you can see that there is something. You run for a while, like for several seconds. No answer. And you can see that periodically built into the station, there are Geiger counters for radiation leaks. And
start going up.
As you are running past, the ones behind you towards the source of the hard space are beginning to suffer from radiation leaks. So like you're running and behind you hear the distinctive clicking, and it's not catching up to you. You're faster than it, but
it's still there.
Those corridors, you probably won't be able to go back into them without a suit behind you.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I don't know where he's going to go because he actually doesn't know the layout. One thing I didn't think to do is get the layout of the damn place.
Do you just go in whatever familiar path you can find?
He did say. Well, he said the civilian one said green stuff, green lights.
Are you following the green lights?
I think he'll follow the green lights initially, just to get to most likely a suit.
You find yourself in the cafeteria again. Hello, Commander.
Chef, there is
all the exterior doors locked.
Chef,
I need an emergency set of doors come down over top of them. Of course, Commander. There is an emergency suit in the kitchen.
Open the door. I'm in a rush, and he starts running. He goes to find the suit.
Okay, you put a exterior hard suit on. Starly gets you, so it's pretty light and comfortable. It's got 1 week's worth of power.
Enough time to hopefully get me to whatever I need to reset to fix some of this. He'll come back out. Computer, are you back online in this room? Nope.
The machine pops back up out of its hole. I'm sorry. The base computer system appears to be down. There are power fluctuations all across the base.
I see that. Can you bring up a local map? for a table.
Base computer is offline. Access to map, offline.
Shoot. Local memory, what direction is the lifts to the
That
other
is
state
not
sections?
stored on this module.
So
I
clever, I'm
apologize,
in trouble.
Commander, but if you're attempting to leave this room, I'm afraid we are in full lockdown.
Can you read sensors outside your room?
Negative.
This room. Are there computer terminals in this room at least available locally?
Yeah, all of the tables are touchscreens.
Okay, so he'll go and try to see if he can see what's going on outside the room currently.
You have access to nothing. This room has,
It's just locked down.
I mean, it's not that
off.
It's not
Your
just
stuff
that
is
it's
off.
locked down. It's there's nothing to connect to outside of this room.
Right. Chef, is there an emergency exit from here that doesn't require human-sized?
All exits have been locked down until the facility is repaired for your safety.
Appreciated.
If you contact the medical officer, you can ask for a local override.
Is the medical officer's AI adjunct activated?
No such program exists.
Then there's no one there then, because that section is already offline. Can I effect a personal lockdown override because of that?
No.
Didn't think that. App. Hmm.
Don't worry, Commander. I'm sure the Starleague will send help in 7 days. Would you like to play a game?
Not at this time. I need to find another solution to get out of here first.
And I think that is where we end. It's just Paul Kahn trying to get out of the room he has trapped himself in.
Yep.
I think the final shot is like Paul working on opening one of the blast doors back out into the base, and it just keeps zooming in on him and zooming in until it just zooms in on your jumpsuit that says 567616. Well, we certainly did a thing.
Yep. I got way farther than I expected.
I know you did destroy the base in the process, but
I didn't mean to do that. I was hoping to reset it. But I didn't know how. Once you said I had to be a commander to reset it, I was like, well, then I have to be a commander to reset it. But unfortunately, it was already broken too much before I even could get the words "please reset" out my mouth.
I mean, if you had just stayed in your room, everything would have been fine. But every time you went somewhere, it had to be powered up and cleaned, which took programming, which took power, which took atmosphere. Mechanical systems had to be turned on.
Yeah.
I tried to warn you about this early on.
Well, one thing I didn't think about was as the programmer level, I should have asked for a suit to keep things off. To sidestep that. But I don't think it would allow me because it's most likely that was a military suit. So.
It is a military suit, yes.
And I didn't think about going straight for commander at all. So I was expecting to stay at civilian level and cruise. And then I got to that room. I'm like, well, I'm here.
I mean, you did a really good job of being like, he's out there somewhere. He's in your systems. I was like, that's a pretty good. I mean, he literally is in your system, so it's a great lie.
I mean, that's what a salesman should do, and that's what Paul does. He sells tech.
Oh boy, Paul, you better hope your wife comes through for you on this one.
Yeah. Yep. It's got the Paul Kahn stamp on it, though. I got the treasure pools first, and it got the station first. and erect something on the way in and out.
I love the idea that you're just like, yep, this is my legitimate salvage. Welcome to my station.
Yeah. Greetings.
Thanks for helping me
adventurers.
escape.
Greetings, adventurers. If you would be kind to reset the power reactor, I'll give you a tour of my station.
Oh my god, you would be an NPC for sure. You remind me of that guy from, like, was it called Outer Wilds or whatever, where you go to his space station early on and he's just like, I awoke you, now do these tasks for me. Oh yes, the station around you is exploding.
Help me stop the station from exploding and I'll give you free stuff.
Oh my god. Yes, Paul Kahn, true NPC life.
Yep.
All right.
That would be the plan. That would be if I was playing the session where they find me, first thing, any of them that walks in the door, he will definitely be going.
No, you'll be here at the next session of Endosteel.
Oh, okay.
It'll be in the new year. That's
right.
The whole reason we did this was to set up for when you and your wife meet up again.
I'm sorry. My brain's
okay.
I've been on
we
a lot
didn't
of
discuss
games
it that much. I think I briefly mentioned it.
We mentioned it way back. Yeah.
Yes. You will be there. I mean, we didn't do all of this, so you couldn't. You better just hope that they get the jump coordinates right on the first try. Or
I'm gonna be quite old. Oh, that was fun though.
All right.
Been a while since I got to play in the player's seat like that. Fun. I can't believe I got 1 point away from that roll and I still had an edge point. Or
plot point. Yeah.
I was expecting to have burnt those up before I'd be like, yeah, you got a 14 or 15 or you die. And I'm like, 13.
Too ridiculous. Too ridiculous.
But this is what I mean. The coding stuff is what I built him for nonstop. Like I was like, the merchant stuff is a lot easier. If you've got all this stuff behind you, you can sell it no matter what. You know, like you don't have to be the best salesman to sell a mansion. You just had to be like, it's a mansion.
Maybe we just do like a 30-minute long episode of you and Pondo as Melvin Mason trying to sell your Starlink stuff. And he's just like, why would a USB drive be of value to me?
But it's not the drive itself. It's the potential of what's within it.
That's it. That's what I'm waiting for. I can't wait. All right. Closing thoughts here, Soundwave?
I had fun. And
okay, I'm glad.
I had fun. And I've almost always had fun hanging out with you regardless of what it is.
I feel like we went kind of very paranoia in a way more. I didn't intend it to be that way. I thought it was going to be more psychological, but then you were like, I want to escape no matter what. And I was like, I wrote stuff down just in case you did this.
Well, my initial attitude was going to be, I'm trying to insert a logic loop that gets me better access. I didn't expect to go that high. I didn't plan. I planned to get out of jail, but not.
You did get out of jail, and then you kept pushing is the thing.
Yeah. And then I got greedy a little bit because I got there. If for some reason I hadn't bluffed my way into that room, he would have been just fine being a developer and trying to get as much access as developer instead of. But once my brain caught on, I'm at that spot. This is the only chance you're going to get. Unless other people are here to take the glory possibly from you, you're probably not going to get here. Because one of them was going to be like, shove the new guy aside. I got it. I'm commander now. No, I got it. Not that it matters now that everything's turned off.
Maybe one day it'll turn back on. Well, I guess we'll have to see in the next episode of Oath of Endosteel. Soundwave, thank you for joining me. Friends at home, don't tell the players about this episode. They haven't seen it, and with any luck, they never will. Everything that Paul has discovered should be revealed to them in the episode, so keep it to the YouTube comments, please. Don't go on Discord. I feel like that's probably one of the few times you're ever going to hear me say that. Thank you, and have a good time zone.